My story, it isn't really about the empires I built. It's about the limits I just refused to accept. And that started with the very first one, my own father. You have to understand, every room I walked into was his. Every victory was part of his legacy. He was Philip of Macedon, the man who dragged a broken kingdom from the dirt and made it the most feared force in all of Greece. Anyone who stood next to him just seemed smaller, especially his own son. I wasn't supposed to be great, you see. I was supposed to be grateful. Grateful for his name, his army, his power. My job was to inherit a kingdom, not to go out and build one of my own. But I knew deep down that was never, ever going to be enough for me. So I studied him. Not like a son studies a father, no. I studied him like a soldier studies an enemy. Every campaign, every deal he made, every single scar on his body, they were all lessons. And I learned pretty quickly that if I wanted to escape his shadow, I'd have to create one so big it would cover the entire world. I remember when I was 13, they brought in this wild horse, Bucephalus, threw every man who tried to ride him. They all saw chaos, but I saw fear. The horse wasn't wild, he was terrified of his own shadow. So I did something simple. I just turned him to face the sun. The shadow disappeared, and the beast just calmed down. I rode him that day, and for the very first time I saw actual awe in my father's eyes. He actually wept when he said those words to me. It was the only time he ever made me feel like he truly saw me, like he finally understood that fire that was burning inside of me. That one moment, it planted a seed. Macedonia was never going to be the goal. It was just the beginning. That recognition from my father, well, it wasn't a gift. It was a challenge. And I decided I was going to spend the rest of my youth proving I was worthy of it, not as his son, but as his equal. When I was only 16, my father left me in charge, as regent. A local tribe revolted, and I didn't send a general. I led the army myself. We crushed them, and on that land, I founded my first city. I was just a boy, but I was already building my own world. 2 years later, at the battle that basically gave my father control over all of Greece, I was the one who commanded the final, decisive charge. I personally shattered the sacred band of thieves, an army everyone thought was unbreakable. My father won Greece that day, sure, but everybody knew his son had won the battle. And honestly, I think that terrified him. The tension between us, it finally just snapped. It happened at a banquet. He was drunk, drew his sword on me, and then just tripped and fell flat on his face. I looked down at the king of Macedonia, unable to even stand, and I said those words loud enough for everyone to hear. And then I just walked out. I didn't beg, I didn't negotiate, I just left. When my father was assassinated, I came back. I was 20 years old, and in 1 year, I crushed every rebellion, secured the loyalty of all of Greece, and stood as the undisputed commander of the Greek world. And then, with my home finally secure, I turned my gaze. I looked east, toward Persia. Everyone, and I mean everyone, said it was suicide. The Persian Empire was this titan, this unconquerable force. They had numbers you couldn't even count. I had a small, loyal army and an idea. For me, that was more than enough. Right before I crossed into Asia, I gave away everything I owned, my lands, my estates, all my revenues. My general, Perdiccas, he came up to me and asked, "What are you keeping for yourself?" I told him, hope. It was the only thing I needed, the only thing that really mattered. In Asia, I didn't play by the old rules. Not at all. At the Granicus River, my generals told me to be cautious, to wait, so I charged at dusk. In the cities we captured, I acted like a liberator, not a conqueror. I honored their gods, their customs. I wasn't just defeating soldiers, I was winning over an entire people. So then, in Gordium, I came across this legendary challenge, the Gordian knot. Impossibly tangled. The prophecy said whoever could untie it would rule all of Asia. Kings had tried for generations and failed. I looked at it for a moment. Then I just drew my sword and cut it in half. You know, some rules only exist because no one's had the guts to break them yet. My legend just kept growing. But a true ruler isn't just defined by prophecies or battles. He's defined by his character. And the greatest test of my character came when I finally faced the King of Kings, Darius himself. At Issus, Darius brought an army more than twice the size of mine.
But he made one critical mistake. He came himself. And so I ignored his flanks, his infantry, all of it. I aimed a spear of cavalry right at his chariot. Let me tell you, when a king sees death coming straight for him, his army just collapses. Darius fled, and he left his entire family behind.
The next day, Darius's mother mistook my general for me and fell at his feet, just terrified. I helped her up myself. That's when I told her, "Do not worry. He too is Alexander." I treated his family like royalty, not like prisoners. The world saw that I could destroy an army one day and show mercy the next. Now that is power.
In Egypt, they welcomed me as a pharaoh. I decided to travel deep into the desert, a journey that nearly killed us all, just to see the Oracle of Siwa. What was said in that temple? Well, I never revealed that to anyone, but it cemented something inside me. When a leader truly, deeply believes he cannot be stopped, he becomes a force of nature.
So, Darius raised another army. Some say it was 1,000,000 men. He came to face me at Gaugamela. This was it, the final battle for the world. And I was just 25 years old. Everything I had ever dreamed of was waiting for me on the other side of that field. The night before the battle, my generals came to me. They were nervous. They wanted to do a surprise night attack to even the odds. I refused. I told them I will not steal my victory. I wouldn't sneak into my destiny like a thief. No, we would face them in the light of day, and the world would see us win.
After Gaugamela, that was it. I was the undisputed king of Asia. But I kept going, deeper into Persia, all the way to India. For 8 long years we marched, right to the edge of the world. And at the Hypasus River, my men, my victorious, loyal men, they just couldn't go any further. They'd conquered the world, and they just wanted to go home. And right there, I found the one limit I could never break: the hearts of tired men.
So, I turned back. I died in Babylon when I was 32. A fever did what no army in the world ever could. My whole journey began in the shadow of one man, and it ended with me as the ruler of everything under the sun. My empire? Oh, it shattered the moment I closed my eyes. But empires, they always turn to dust. What's left behind is the idea. The idea that the world is only as large as you dare to make it. The only real boundaries are the ones we choose to accept.
I saw the horizon not as an end, but as an invitation. I never stopped. So let me ask you, what is stopping you?